So the way that the audio is today, you're not going to hear a thing. But because there's a fan in this window here, I can hear the thunder as pretty much as loud as humanly possible. So there's going to be a few times throughout the show where I randomly jump and you have no reason why.
Sounds good. Yeah. Oh, was that for the listeners?
For listeners and for you, just to be aware that if I cower at any moment, it's not like Dad's home. Like there's a reason.
Right.
Welcome to the Garlic Boys podcast, where we treat friendship like a good recipe treats garlic. You can never have too much of it. We're your hosts. I'm Connor O'Connor.
And I'm full of allergies.
Just
me.
chock full of allergies.
Chock full of allergies. It's coming out my nose. It's coming out my throat. It's coming out everywhere. Except for that place that you're thinking of. Gross.
Tell me, how are your allergies affecting your butthole?
You know what? It's been pretty rough, man. It's been pretty rough. I feel like it's just expanded to about the size of my face at this point. Just because of my allergies.
That's strange because allergies usually constrict because of inflammation.
Right. It's really strange. I don't really understand how it's happening.
It did that thing that Mr. Fantastic does with his fingers in the second movie where just
speaking of, can't wait for that movie. It's coming out the end of this month, and I could not be more stoked.
We are in the countdown.
Yeah.
I think we're at 26 days. What is today's date?
The 28th.
All right. So we are at 26 days after today, because I'm pretending that it's Sunday. 26 days until that movie comes out.
Right.
I can't wait for it.
Are we going to see it together?
I mean, you can definitely come down and see it with us, yeah.
All right, we should definitely try that. I'm so stoked. I haven't been this stoked in a while, and as we've talked about on this podcast, I don't go to the movies very often. It has to be a very special movie for me. And I know that's the whole problem with the box office these days, is that people aren't going to the movies, and it's eventually going to die out, which is sad, I guess. I mean, it's actually really sad. I don't want to be the type of person that stays at home all the time and just watches TV. It just feels lazy, and I don't like it.
But Matt, there's no new original movies that I can enjoy in theaters. Everything's a remake or a sequel.
There are so many good original movies.
Name one.
Sinners just came out not that long ago. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it in theaters because I got too busy. But fantastic movie that just came out in theaters. Original too.
Okay, name three more.
Elio from Disney's Pixar, Disney and Pixar, just came out. And
what's Elio?
It was so good. Elio, it's a movie about a kid who wants to go to space and get abducted by aliens, and then gets there and realizes, wow, they think I'm the leader of Earth. And then a whole bunch of shenanigans happens, and he finds out he really wants to go home, I guess. If I was in space, I would never leave.
So it's like the opposite of Toy Story 4.
I didn't see Toy Story 4, so hey, but that's another original movie that came out kind of recently.
Not an original movie. It's the fourth one, so it can't be original.
It is a sequel, but it's not a remake, I guess. So you're
sequels
right.
And remakes is what I said.
Okay, fine. Another movie that just came out. Oh wait, I can't think of it anymore. I can't think of any more. Oh, Ballerina. Oh, that's technically a sequel to the John Wick verse. It's a spin-off. Does that count? It's a spin-off.
Her character was established in John Wick 4, so
Yeah. And the only other movies I could think of: How to Train Your Dragon remake, live action, and Lilo and Stitch remake. Have you seen any movies that are completely original?
oh boy. Let me look at my list.
While you do that, I'm gonna share a little bit more about Elio. Before you go see Elio, just anybody listening to this podcast, bring at least 2 boxes of tissues because you're gonna cry. I don't care if you don't normally cry in movies. You're gonna cry. It's a fact of life.
Okay. So the last original movie I saw in theaters was Novocaine.
Oh, how was that?
Well, we've talked about it on this show, but it was fantastic.
We definitely did. Yeah. I've been seeing ads and stuff for it. So
the last movie I think I saw, I think is the most original movie I've ever seen, which is Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah.
Which is a mostly silent film about a guy fighting beavers to survive in the winter wilderness.
Yeah. Yeah. Another kind of recent one, last couple of years, was the new Studio Ghibli movie, The Boy and the Heron, which I just watched for the first time, and it was really, really good.
Nice. I didn't watch that one.
That's fair.
But it had Batman in it, right?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson was in it as the Heron, the titular Heron. Please don't fall. Yeah, and it was like you couldn't even recognize his voice. Like it was so he did so well at disguising his voice that you couldn't even recognize him.
Didn't that beat the good is it The Good Robot or something for best animated feature?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
The Wild Robot, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Which that movie was also brilliant. But that's not an original movie because it's based on a book. But that's the problem.
Okay.
You want to see no, it does count because it's not an original idea.
It
but
does.
You do get brilliant animation with it. And so I think if you're going to make a book into an animated movie that pushes the bounds of animation, I think that's still good. Like, that's why I think Spider-Verse are some of the best animated movies, because it's not just a good Spider-Man story. They push the bounds of animation and change the way that we look at animation.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many different animation styles within the same world that, like, yeah, you could have done that before, sure, but it probably wouldn't have been done as well because they didn't have the processes. They created a lot of the processes, and like even if we look at the Lego Movie, yes, it's based off of a toy company, but it's an original, completely original story with characters that can belong in different worlds, but none of them being like none of the main characters are truly like established characters. They are like established figures, sure, but like there's Superman and Green Lantern, but there's just small cameos. It's not like they're part of the main 6,
right.
Except for Batman.
Yeah,
but that's Batman, so that kind of counts. But even within all of that, like that was fully animated. It wasn't stop motion. But for everything to be made in that movie to make it look like stop motion and to still look like you were straight up playing with Legos was an incredible animation feat.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like movies with Elio, I think it's more ambitious and it's more important to watch animated original stories like this, because just the poster you look that you have behind you, the colors of it are so dynamic and are unlike anything you see nowadays. Like there was this meme going around recently of or not recently, but like in the last few years, of like one of the new X-Men movies, Aladdin, and I think The Force Awakens, and it was all 3 posters. And since they have similar color cues to it, it's like this trilogy makes no sense. I don't understand any of the storyline.
Yeah.
And it's because like everyone's either doing like the floating heads, the same colors and flares, and like making J.J. Abrams like proud by how many lens flares they're putting on everything. And it's just that
We need more original posters for movies and stuff. Better marketing, in my opinion. Like, just it has gone so downhill.
and that's I think the problem is a lot of the time the marketing of a movie as well. Of like, I can't tell you what Elio's about.
Right. I saw like maybe one trailer a year ago when it
Right.
was like initially released.
Like, I can tell you a kid gets abducted, but I don't know what the story of the movie is. I don't know
Yeah.
the plot. When Inside Out first came out, I was sure that there was some sort of problem with the emotions that happiness had to get back to Central Command, and there was going to be a conflict with that. I understood sort of like what the lesson was going to be, but after like The Good Dinosaur, I never really understood the plot of Pixar movies again. Like, because I think they were just on such a roll that their marketing was just like, hey, here's another Pixar movie. Here's a fun little teaser showing you like the new characters and creatures we've made within our art style. Better come and watch it.
Mhm.
And it stopped being enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. That maybe that's just me and turning cynical at a certain point. But I think when your marketing budget is half of what your movie needs to make back, and then you don't do much with it, and then you're like, oh no, the movie's a flop, because Elio was the lowest opening weekend for a Pixar movie ever at $21 million.
Yeah.
And like, I feel bad. I don't have the money to go see it, and I would.
I think that's another problem plaguing the movie industry is we're still poor and then the movie industry is just getting more expensive, rightfully so, I guess, supply and demand kind of thing where the demand is really low, but there's like so much supply, and so the prices are going to be astronomical. I don't know if that's like, but right now we're seeing is that not many people are going to movies. One, because there's not a lot.
I can't hear you.
Why? It says it's coming up on the. Hello? Is that better?
Okay, now let's try from there again.
Hello? Hello.
Okay, I don't know what happened there.
Okay. But you can hear me fine now?
Yeah.
Weird. You don't have a lot of original movies, so people aren't going to the movies. The movie ticket prices are insanely high. Like, we paid $25 for 2 tickets last night. Insane. I know there's recliner seats now and all that, but like, I don't know if $25 was worth it. The movie, fantastic, by the way. I said that, but I'll say it again because it was so good. And the marketing is garbage. Like, that's that you have 3 things that are all making it harder and not as desirable to go to the movies. And then you're like, oh no, the movie industry's dying. Maybe make it more desirable to go to the movies.
Yes.
I
But
can't
again,
every day to go see a movie that costs $12 to ticket.
I don't. We rant about the movie industry so much here, and like the problem is we don't have a way to fix it because we're not within the industry.
Right.
Like, we're just fans of movies. But the problem that I'm seeing is that these billion-dollar movies or like $200 million movies can fail, and then nothing goes. Like, they're like, all right, we'll get it with the next one.
Yeah.
Like, there doesn't seem to be consequences. Like, if I cost my job a few $1,000s as like a relative comparison to the movie, I'm probably gonna lose my job.
Yeah. I think the only like real and unfortunate consequences is that the movie does not do well. And that's obviously what we're talking about. But like, if this comes on streaming, if Elio comes on streaming after having such a terrible box office release, nobody's gonna want to watch it. Even when it does go on streaming, they're like, oh, it didn't do too well because we're so like tied up in the box office results, right?
I still haven't watched Luca.
Yeah, I haven't watched Luca. It's been out for years on streaming. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched Strange Worlds.
That was see, that's another one from Disney though. Like they didn't market that movie at all,
Yeah.
and then the only press it got was that there was a queer relationship in it, and then there was all this negative press, and that's not why I didn't watch it. But like there was no hook or catch or reason for me to go see the movie.
I haven't watched that. Buzz Lightyear, Mitchell's versus the Machines. Like
You gotta watch Mitchell's versus Machines.
I know they're all really great movies, but none of them were like. I don't know. Maybe I'm falling prey to this as well. But like, I want to watch it. I just haven't.
Let me tell you this about Mitchell's versus the Machines. You ever wondered what it would be like if an entire family had autism and then they had to fight robots?
Yes, I've heard.
Is that not a good enough reason?
I've heard good things, but I don't know, man. I implore you to go see this movie. Listeners,
I probably will be going to go see it.
It's so good.
Some of the girls that Autumn used to babysit want to see it, and it's possible that we're going to take them too.
Yeah, we actually picked this over How to Train Your Dragon.
Well, that's good because you've already seen How to Train Your Dragon.
There's some minor changes. Connor.
Oh no, Nick Frost's character's leg is missing on the opposite side because he had to get a knee replacement done. And so they were like, oh, let's get you doing a real Winston in pain as you walk. It's the same movie, okay? And congratulations, it is the same movie. It's just okay. They didn't do the thing with your favorite movie like they did with mine, where they completely ruined the heart and story of it, and now they're trying to make a sequel to it like they didn't. Just bastardize the original.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm still mad about Lilo and Stitch?
I can tell you're still mad about Lilo and Stitch.
They want to do a second one now.
Really?
What are you going to do? Nani comes back and says, I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
Have they, I mean, would it be based on loosely what the series was?
It would probably be based on Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch.
Oh, that's fair.
And then Leroy and Stitch. But Leroy and Stitch only makes sense because it's technically the series finale to the series. And so then you have to explain where all these other experiments came from.
Yeah. They might as well just do a Disney Plus series. A live action shot for shot remake of the original show. But Gantu is such a big part of the series too, isn't he? I hate that they removed Gantu. I hate it. That's like, I don't mind. Like, I know they made a lot of terrible changes to that movie, but I feel like, in my opinion, that's the worst change that they made was Gantu.
Oh, yeah.
Gantu out. And making, I can't even remember his name right now. I'm too tired. I'm too frustrated. Jumba. I kept almost saying Jabba. Jumba, the villain. I just don't like that. I haven't seen it yet, and I know that it's terrible. I'll probably end up watching it when it does come on streaming, just to say that I watched it. Same with How to Train Your Dragon, but not to just say that I watched it, but to like have watched it and formed my own opinion on it. You know, stuff like that. Ugh, I feel terrible.
Go watch animated movies. They're not just for kids.
Yeah, so true. Maybe, just maybe, go to the movies once in a while. I can't breathe out of my nose, and I am miserable right now. I'm so miserable.
If you come hang out with me, I have allergy medication you can take.
Oh, I have allergy medication too, but I took it, and it didn't work. Nothing changed.
Well, plus, you probably don't want to drive down all the way to Pittsburgh again.
Just for allergy medication.
For the second time this week.
Yeah, I really don't.
Do you want to talk about how you and Mia stole my wife?
Yes. Well, we made a proposition over text message, and it turned into we texted.
We offered her a case of money.
We texted Autumn. And we wanted to go down to the new? I don't even know if it's new, but there is an Asian market down in Pittsburgh called the Ensign Asian Market. And Mia and I saw it on TikTok and were stoked because we wanted to go very badly. And it is actually very close to the distance that Autumn would have to drive from wherever Autumn was at the time. To be honest, I don't remember. I think she was getting off work or something. I don't know. So it was very close, and we were like, hey, let's just meet down there. So we met at Ensign Market after a whole day of just terrible atrocities happened. Terrible atrocities being my therapist canceled.
Oh no, poor baby.
Yeah, so my therapist canceled, and I'm like, hey, let's go spend $250 down at an Asian market. So we went down and spent $250 at an Asian market. We bought ramen, and we bought stuff to put in ramen, and we bought dumplings, like 4 different types. Excuse me. We bought tteokbokki, which is not how you say it, but I'm American. So yeah, all in all, it costs about $250. I also bought a sake set, like the bottles, not actual like sake. I have to buy the sake and put it in the bottle. But we bought a sake set.
Is it for warm sake or just regular sake?
I think both, but it's like the ceramic type bottles that they have at King of Tokyo. King of Tokyo. That's the board game, Mr. Tokyo.
You think we could go to Mr. Tokyo and play King of Tokyo, but we have to keep eating every time like we get damaged? We have to get another roll.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Speaking of Mr. Tokyo, we also went to Mr. Tokyo that day. And it was good. We sat in the very back, which was odd. I'd never sat in the very back before. Usually we're right up front.
And Matt,
yeah,
my question is for you.
Mm-hmm.
And why do you think about hearing about this trip infuriates me so much?
Because you really, really like Asian culture and you want to enjoy it, spending $250 alongside of us.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that this was planned while I was not home? It could not be a part of it.
To be fair, I have text messages to prove this. You said text Autumn and see if she wants to go. So,
and yet you still did that, even though you knew it would hurt.
I still did it because you told me to do it.
If I told you to jump off of a bridge, would you do it?
Probably. Don't tell me to do something if you don't want me to do it.
I'm just saying why you couldn't have been like, oh, if you can't go, then we'll plan for a different week when you're here.
We didn't want to plan for a different week. We wanted to do it now and spend $200 $200+ at an Asian market.
That $200 was just burning a hole in your pocket. Like, I need to spend it now.
It was. We had just gotten paid, and we had already made the plan to go down regardless of if you and Autumn could come, but we wanted to invite the both of you just in case you could. And then you said to invite Autumn because you can't go. So this is your fault, bud. This is entirely your fault. You could have said, hey, I'm free next week. Maybe you should come down next week and we could go. And I would have said, you know what? I think we can rework some plans.
Hey, what are you doing on the 4th of July? You should come down.
Don't say stuff you don't mean, bud.
I do mean that. You should come down for the 4th of July.
I think I work because my life hates me. Why do I always pick jobs? Like,
it's a Friday, my guy.
Yeah, and I still work on weekends, my guy.
What's the point of a college degree if you can't have a regular 9 to 5?
That's what I'm saying. Why did I pick a job that is a 24/7, 365.25 type of job? You know what I mean? Why did I do that? What is wrong? I did this to myself. I know I picked a low-paying every day of the year kind of job, that I work holidays, and but to be fair, I get paid a lot. Like I get paid double time, I think, on double time and a half maybe on holidays. So pretty great to be working holidays. But it also sucks because I work holidays. So
I get paid time off on most holidays.
that's nice. If I had an option, I would go back in time. I think I'm gonna try and live vicariously through my children, by
That's super healthy.
by forcefully manipulating them into jobs that I wish I had, like a fire tower watchman and an astronaut.
Your son's a park ranger.
I'm just gonna say, hey, buddy, that's what I'm gonna do. Like from a young age, I'm gonna take them on each of their individualized little kid dates. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm gonna take one to the woods and just drop them off. Say, have fun. No.
Hey, little baby Debbie, do you remember how much when you were a kid you talked about loving space? You should become an astronaut. It's like, Dad, I don't remember saying that at all. It's like, well, one of us is there for it, so who do you believe?
I'm the adult here. I remember it.
I already applied to colleges for you.
I'm gonna gaslight all of my children into the positions that I want them to be in.
If you're not going to gaslight your children, what's the point of having them?
What's the point of being a parent if you're not going to gaslight your children?
That's what I've always been taught as someone who wants to be a parent. It's like, well, the great thing about having kids is you can get them to believe whatever you want.
I'm gonna send one of my kids to space camp. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, you go be a nerd at space camp, and then tell me all about it whenever you get home.
What if the other one wants to go to space camp and that one doesn't, but it's too late?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna suss it out, right? I'm gonna see each of their personalities and exactly like what they enjoy. I'm gonna take them to things when they're very young and they're formulating their own opinions, right? So I'll take them to the space terrarium. I don't remember what it's called.
Observatory.
Yeah, there you go. I'll take
the space terrarium.
I'll take them to the space observatory, and let them see if they have any fun, see if they form any lifelong opinions about space. And then when they do, because inevitably they will, because space is awesome, that's when I will start doing more space related things, right? I'll send them to space camp. I'll send them to little astronaut school. I don't know. I'll send them to the military because that's the only way you can be an astronaut. Which means I have to instill in them some sort of patriotism. Stuff like that, you know? So I'll do that. And then for the next kid, whenever they like, I'll start taking them outdoors a little more. You know what I mean? I'll start seeing, you know, if they enjoy bugs, if they enjoy different things like that. See if they, you know, I will plan it out far in advance. And if they don't like the woods, then I'm not going to force that kid. I'll just try again with the next one. Yes, you know what I mean? Kids are expendable.
Your kids find this secret room in your house, and it's just pictures of them with a red string going likes and interests.
Exactly. That's how it'll be. I will hyperfixate on my kids until I figure out what they want to do with their lives, and then I will overwhelm them with that thing.
Marissa doesn't like to go outside. Marissa will go to the greatest outside, space.
I think that, wow, I was going to say something. Where did it go? It's gone. Never mind. I don't think.
I don't want to use the word fear because I don't want to imply that there's anything to be afraid of with this. But have you ever thought about, like, because I would love to have 2 boys and 2 girls, like in a perfect world, that like 50-50 split.
Yeah.
But like, you ever worried about only having one gender of kid and being like, I don't know what to do now?
All the time, because my family is all women. Every kid that my biological sisters have had, all girls.
Right.
Every single one. And I I'm not stoked about that. I mean, in my own family, like my parents and my siblings, my biological siblings, we're 2 for 3. You know what I mean? Like 2 girls, 1 boy, and what am I gonna do when I have all girls? I mean, granted, they can.
See, that's not the thing I'm worried about. I think I can raise girls fine.
Yeah,
I think I know. I'm pretty sure I can figure out what to do with girls.
Know what to do sports and stuff.
What am I going to do with a son? Don't get me wrong. I want a son more things in the world because I want to have someone that like I could be who my dad wasn't towards.
Yeah,
that.
Absolutely.
But if I have to learn how to play football or learn I understand these sports to the point that I can mask who a man I can mask as a man
right
in front of men, be like, wow, that's a good first down right there. How many more yards do you think that they're gonna go until they go for the extra point there and like things like that?
Do you Mia does this all the time where she'll like hypothesize like, what if our kids want to do sports? I'm like, I guess I'll let them, but I will hate it. I'll hate every second of it. But if they want to do that, I'm not going to stop them from doing that. Just like if they want to join marching band for the rest of their lives, I'm not going to stop them from doing that. I may try to nudge them in different directions, but I'm not going to stop them.
My kids can do whatever that brings them joy.
Yeah, I'll support.
But the moment it stops being like 100% joy, I'm going to be like, are you sure you don't want to try?
Are you sure you don't want to give up? I think you should give up. It's okay to give
We
up.
can do theater. Do you want to try the theater?
No, theater's so much more toxic than even sports are, honestly.
Yeah, but you think I got this catty personality from a sports team?
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I was one of 5 straight men that did choir in high school. I know how to be sassy.
Yeah. Oh man.
My turns of phrase have a little zest in them because I was yelled at by the meanest people ever. 8th grade girls.
The meanest people in all of existence. 8th grade girls. Not
followed quickly by 8th grade boys.
Right. Yeah.
8th graders are mean. John Mulaney said it the most. 8th graders are the worst people in the world. Sure, there are Nazis, but even the Nazis had some people they liked. 8th graders hate everyone.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And this is not me defending the Nazis. You should punch a Nazi in the face if you see it.
Also, you should punch an 8th grader in the face. When
I think that's the problem. I can't punch an 8th grader in the face. Also, just because of the way I have lived my life, I've been around 8th graders a lot more than other people. And that sounds weird, but you have to remember that I'm a youth leader. And we have 8th graders. And that's where I was last week, and they were mean. There's mean girls in our youth group, and I try to be nice to them, and they just like don't want to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't know what else to do. Okay, I've tried talking about them to their interests. You know?
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, hey, what do you like this, right? Let's talk about that. Tell me about that. And they're like, ugh. Like that. Every time I hear it, it's like, I can drop kick you, right? Like I'm not going to. But I could get away with it probably, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. What are the kids into these days? Are they into like what are those little doll things that everybody like jujubes? I don't know what they're called.
I don't know what those things are, and none of the kids I know like them.
Oh, good.
I have been learning more about K-pop. That is very popular with a lot of my students.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of my students is just into Asians in general, which we're trying to calm that down.
Is it what?
What?
Say that again.
This one student just really weird about Asians and Asian culture, and just like not like a weeb, but like really into like Asian people. Like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it without it sounding weird and like giving away too many details, and I don't really want to.
Yeah, that's fair. The toy I was referencing was Labubu's.
I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah. Those things are weird. They're like
It's like a demonic rabbit.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of this like discourse around like collectibles and stuff like that. Like it started with our Gen X parents, right? Yeah. Started with our Gen X.
Gen X for me. I think your mom is Gen X, but your dad is definitely a boomer.
Yeah, for sure. But it started with the generation before us collecting precious moments. And then it went to us.
Then we got the Beanie Babies.
Then we got the Beanie Babies. And then there was like those willow tree stuff that was very popular at least in my sect of suburban white women. And then we have Funko Pops, obviously, for like our generation. Millennial type X or Gen Z-ish. And then after that, now we have these weird freaking Labubus.
It's more blind boxes in general now because
yeah.
I mean, I have this little Pokemon scene.
He just lost one.
It's a little fletchling.
I have something I want to talk about after this. You remind me.
And this was a blind box, so you don't know which Pokemon scene you're going to get. There's a few of them.
That's cool.
I have another one in my office at work.
See, I'm not a big fan of mystery because there's always one of like the mystery things that I don't like. That I like. If I get it, I will not want to keep it, and I inevitably get that every time. Like I get it 3 or 4 times in the collection process of the mystery things.
I never get the one that I want either.
Yeah, I never get the one that I'm like trying for, which is very upsetting and disappointing, and I don't like it. I don't like spending money on stuff that I'm not getting what I want. I'd rather just buy outright what I want. But speaking of Pokemon, very loosely, I just started a new video game, and you'll never guess which game it is.
Is it Pokemon?
No, it's Power World. It's the Pokemon. It's
the knockoff of Pokemon.
The knockoff Pokemon with guns, I guess is what we should call it. It's like a Pokemon type. It's a monster collection type game, with survival aspects to it. So, like, you build a base. You have to start from scratch essentially, and then you build some clothes on the first night, and then you build a table on the second night, and then you build a house on the third night. So like it's a slow grind survival type game. You have to slowly venture out as you get stronger from your starting area, collect more monsters. And then the monsters are able to do some pretty cool stuff like hold guns. And
isn't the tagline for it you ever wonder what it would be like if you could actually enslave your Pokemon? Well, now you can with Power World.
Sure. I don't know. You do get to put them to work. So like we're at camp and they like do jobs for you. So you're not constantly doing all the collection. You're not constantly doing all of the farming and all that stuff. You can actually assign these pocket monsters. I don't even want to call them pocket monsters. You can assign these monsters to work at your camp, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I've been working on.
If we're not going to call them pocket monsters, should we call them it's a video game, so we should call them digital monsters?
But to be fair, all of Pokemon are video games. So
yeah, but we can't call them pocket monsters. So digital monsters, like Digimon. Oh, thank you. That's already a thing.
We could call them Pixelmons. Pixamons. There we go. Nailed it. No, not Pikmins. Pixamon. Pikmins are take. You're not frozen. I know you're not. I can see you slightly moving.
Well, anyways, thanks for asking how my week went, Matt.
I don't care. That was your week, Connor.
Painful.
I'm sure. Painful because you had to spend it with 8th graders, or painful because you hurt yourself?
Yes, but mainly because I hurt myself.
Yeah.
I went on my annual trip with my youth group where we go to our camp each year. But because I hurt my knee at the beginning of the month and it still hasn't gotten better, shout out to me for not going to a doctor ever.
Same.
Part of it's numb. Did I mention that? Like, part of it, like, I can't feel
Connor,
getting touched.
That's not good. I hate to break it to you, but that's bad.
Yeah. So, anyways, because of that, it was just a little hard for me to get around the camp, and I didn't get to participate in the games as much as I wanted to. But I still tried to like be as hyped for the students as possible and like help like figure things out logistically and like be someone that could like be there for them to talk to and all that stuff. But one thing that I am good at that the camp does is a system called Bible Challenge, and I think we've talked about that in the last few times I've gone to the camp. And maybe I've told stories before, but it's like a quiz system about specific chapters of books of the Bible.
Yeah.
So this year's was on Philippians chapter 4.
Haha, my favorite verse, Philippians 4:13.
Yes, except it wasn't that verse because it was an LT, not an IV. So I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me was not acceptable for quoting. It was I am able to do everything through the Lord Jesus, through the Lord Christ who strengthens me, or something like that. And so like it tripped up a lot of people. But like what I was good at is coaching the students and remembering the question, like remembering the answers, memorizing the questions, and like getting better at like buzzing in and feeling confident at doing it because I've done the game myself before. And I even did its more professional cousin game Bible quiz. But we don't have time to talk about that today. But what I also do every year is I join the leaders team that goes against the camp winning team. So like this is the best team at camp each year. Like they've won their entire tournament and they go against the leaders because like most of the leaders are pastors or like higher up like youth leaders and stuff and like people that are confident in their abilities. Well, I do good the whole week at helping my other students. Like we got to the third round, my team, of the tournament, which was great. That was like the halfway point, basically. We had a lot of fun. So then it starts to turn into my own personal study time. And like I'm remembering certain things like making mnemonic devices for stuff. And then I have one of my friends actually like quiz me on it. And I'm just drawing blanks. Like I can't remember. So what I decided to do, I'm just gonna have some more fun with this. Like I want to try and take it as seriously as possible, but like I've been so serious about it in the past, and this is supposed to be a fun thing where like the students try to take down the leaders, and like the leaders would be like, well, how are they doing better than me? And so what I do is I take 2 Dr. Peppers. I start drinking one before I get called up, and the way that we get introduced is like how can I say this that you'll understand?
I mean, I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
Well, do you know the 1990s Bulls theme song? Okay. There's this famous piece of music that's like, okay, then think about it like this. Whenever there's like 2 boxers about to fight and they go, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
And then they introduce the boxers.
Yeah.
Okay.
On this side, we have blah, 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 blah. In this corner, we have blah, 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 blah.
They do that for us. And it's like, he's fearsome. He's fighting. He's here to make sure that you're getting the Bible right, whatever. And then they introduce us and we go down. And so they introduce me and my knee's been hurting. I have not like walked faster than like half of a pace in forever. I run down the aisle.
Oh my goodness.
I'm in my lobster shirt. I run down the aisle. I'm like getting kids hyped up. I'm chugging a Dr. Pepper as I'm running down. I hand it to one of my students and I run up on stage. I'm still wearing my belt bag though, because what they don't know is in that belt bag. I've hidden a second Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
And I wait until it's my turn to get in. And one of the adults answers the first two questions. They quiz out, which means we get bonus points, and they're out of the game. So we get another person in. We have like the person who's in charge. Her son is on our team as well, because he's a leader now. He answers one of them. He's fantastic at it. He was like one of our ringers. He answers one question. He gets another one wrong. We have somebody else who's supposed to be. He's like a big kind of like goofier guy. He starts singing a song instead of giving the answer. So we pull him out, put somebody else in. And then our ringer, Matt, he answers another question. And he technically gets it wrong because they were looking for a specific phrase, even though he gave what was essentially the right answer. Well, he starts arguing with his mom, and she's like, I'm not going to give it to you just because you're my son. The kids are laughing. They're enjoying this whole thing. He gets out. I go in. Next question comes up. And it's what place is mentioned in Philippians chapter 4. I buzz in as quick as possible. They call me, put the microphone in my face, and before I answer, I pull out the Dr. Pepper, crack it, take a quick sip, look as confident as ever, and I give the wrong answer.
Of course, yeah.
But not on purpose, because the correct answer was Macedonia.
You said Massachusetts.
I said Mesopotamia.
So,
and I have a video of it that I'm going to send you afterwards where you can see me go, oh, no, wait. I meant, oh. And I realized I said the wrong thing. And then I was like, no, it's Mesopotamia. Because technically, if that time, anything in that area is where Mesopotamia was. And so if you look at it geographically, and the woman who's running it looks at me and she goes, I just quizzed out my own son. You think I'm going to argue with you and you're going to win? And I just kept like trying to reload on Dr. Pepper like it was going to like fill me up. And the kids are going wild every time I do it. Eventually we lost. So we thought.
A bunch of kids.
After this, half the stage is cleared so they could actually like do the rest of the service. The game master goes, actually, there was a mistake in the scoring. The score is tied right now. We have to do one more question. One funny aspect I forgot to mention. The district youth director, who's like the guy in charge of the entire camp and just regularly kids or youth ministry in the entire states of Pennsylvania and Delaware, was our team captain. And he was sitting behind me. So I would take the sip and hand it to him like he was my personal assistant. And just be like, let me get a sip. Okay.
Nice.
But like we all get settled back down and everything. I'm back in. At this point, I'm just holding the Dr. Pepper like this as I'm buzzing in. They say the question, the kids team buzz in, they get it right, they get the win anyways, and it's fine ever. Well, afterwards, all the adults kept coming up to me and be like, dude, that was so funny. Was that deliberate? I was like, no. You didn't see the panic on my face?
I lost on purpose.
Yes. I like looking like an idiot in front of 400 teenagers.
Yep. Me too. You know, if you're not looking like an idiot in front of 400 teenagers, what are you really doing with your life?
In the end, it was worth it, though, because on the last night of every camp, there's a pool party in the taco bar. I'm at the taco bar getting a walking taco. And these kids from another church come up to me and they go, hey, man, we thought that was really funny. Can we crack a pop and chug it with you?
Heck yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I do it, and I just down this Mountain Dew, no problem. This kid just chokes on his Pepsi. I was like, don't worry, buddy, you'll get better at it. And I walked away, and I just realized, I just technically became like a frat legend for these guys, and I didn't mean to.
Yes, you did. You are the man.
And then, if you look, you don't have Instagram. So they've been making they make memes about things that happen at camp, and somebody got this picture. That's me. That's me, Matt, and Joe, the DYD, and At some point, I was this happy during the match. And I want to get the raw picture. And I got to try to figure out how to do that because that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I miss camp. Like, I just miss being at camp. I haven't been in so long.
It's nice. It's fun because like I still get to feel like a kid, but also like I'm an adult, so I don't have the same restrictions as the kids do at the camp.
Yeah,
and so like if I don't want to go in the mud pit for instance, I don't have to.
Yeah,
because I don't want to. I praise the people that have the willingness to do that because I wish I did. Partially because they know they can get out of the mud pit. With where my knees are at this point, I doubt that I could.
Yeah, no, you better play it safe, you know?
But also, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the other leaders are looked up as more fun because they're able to do stuff like that. And I'd like to be looked at as like a fun leader, but I know I'm fun in different ways. So it's fine.
You're fun in the ways that matter.
Don't make this weird.
Says the guy who texted me encouraging words for like 3 hours the other day.
Because all you were yelling at me was vitriol hate because I got a better shiny Pokemon card than you.
Well, maybe you don't get shiny Pokemon that I'm not getting. Did get a chance during that time that you were at camp all week to watch Ironheart?
I started the first episode, but fell asleep on the way home from camp while watching it. I was going to watch it at some point today, but then I started organizing my Pokemon cards.
Yeah, you know, the autism directives, they just take us wherever they want.
Because I have over 400 Pokemon cards, and yet I have less than $100 worth of Pokemon cards.
Yeah, maybe
I have more money in my Magic cards, and I think probably less Magic cards.
Yeah, yep. Ironheart was really good. We'll have to discuss it next week whenever you actually watch it.
Yes, I am going to watch it. And don't get mad at me like you don't.
I was going to say,
take forever to watch things too.
Now I know how you feel when you're trying to beg me to watch something that you've been wanting me to watch.
Careful how much you yell at me because my executive dysfunction will kick in.
Speaking of, wasn't there something recently that you wanted me to watch? And I feel like I just watched it.
Did you watch Hundreds of Beavers?
No, it wasn't that. There was something else that you were like, it was like every week you were asking, have you watched this yet? Have you watched this yet? Oh, Andor. I still haven't watched it. It might have been Andor.
It wasn't. I still haven't watched Andor yet either.
And what was it? You were asking me if I had watched something, and it was like literally every week. You're like, have you watched it yet? And I still said no. But then I feel like I watched it.
Was it a movie?
It's a possible. I don't know. I really don't know.
Right.
Maybe I'll go back and listen. I probably won't go back and listen to the other episodes too.
Let us know what it was that I've been trying to get Matt to listen to because I don't know.
If you guys remember, tell us. Comment. Hey, do something.
Where can they tell us?
First of all, if you want to watch live videos with our definitely not live. If you want to watch live action, but if you want to see our faces,
if you want to watch the live action version of this podcast,
you can go to youtube.com/@thegarlicboys and see our pretty little faces matched with our pretty little voices. Our pretty little face matched with our pretty little voice, and then the other.
Guess which one of us is the ugly one.
So you can do that at youtube.com/@thegarlicboys, and guess what? There's a commenting feature, so comment on those videos. Not nasty things. I want nice things only. You know what? Give us nasty things. I'll take anything at this point.
Be a little nasty with it. I hated doing that. Cut that out.
Where else can they find us, Connor?
They can find us over at TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. You could also find me in all those same places. I've been kind of popping off on Threads lately, so
nice.
You should follow me over there, guys. Also, be on the lookout on my YouTube channel at Connor O'Connor because I'm hopefully going to be posting a new video sometime this month.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 if my will to live comes back.
We'll see. You can get merch and all that good stuff at redbubble.com. Stickers based on what we say in the shows, t-shirts, bags, I don't know, get our graphics on anything that Redbubble provides, I assume.
Like socks, dude.
So do that at redbubble.com. I don't know if there's like a /@thegarlicboys kind of thing, but like just search
I think you just look up the Garlic Boys and you should be able to get to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to. Good stuff on there.
Do you have a supplementary mom report for this week?
No, but you didn't mention the Patreon, so I'm going to do that real quick.
I thought we did mention the Patreon. Oh, please mention the Patreon.
The Patreon. You can go support us for as little as $3 a month at patreon.com. Probably again /@thegarlicboys, or just like the garlic. Just look up the Garlic Boys. You can find us there, and you can support us.
If you just Google the Garlic Boys, I'm sure you'll find the Patreon too.
I'm sure you'll find everything.
Right.
Google. So do that. Find us, support us, love us.
Bing us if you prefer that. Yahoo, Ask Jeeves.
Supplementary mom report. We're gonna go with
Flippy.
Elio's aunt, which is technically kind of his mother figure, because of certain things that happen in the movie. So Elio's aunt, Olga, I believe was her name.
Is his mom dead?
Yeah, both of his parents are dead.
Tragedy.
Yeah, pretty rough.
Is it like one of those things where like his parents turned out to be aliens and that's why he had like a drive to be in space so much?
No, his parents are just they're just dead.
They're just dead. Okay.
They're just dead.
I'm gonna shout out my youth director and good friend of mine, Christy, because I think she did an awesome job this week with our teams, and she also she came early and stayed later to help out with the rest of the camp in a way, and so she does a lot, and I don't think she gets enough recognition. So shout out, Christy.
Don't need a novel, just need a name. Do you have any final thoughts?
I will fight you to the fullest extent. Wow.
Do you have any final thoughts this week, buddy?
That's my line. Do you have any final thoughts? And guess what? You don't get any. Because your heart is full of anger and vitriol.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. And remember, as always, to
stay
garlic.
Come down to the store where you can buy a garlic. You know what? Go to the Patreon and support us at Garlic Boys. The Garlic Boys on Patreon. Support us there.
They don't understand what you're doing because that was an off-air bit.
Was it? You know what? Still, go ahead and support us there. You can go to Patreon. You can go to Redbubble. You can do anything. You can do anything you want. You can be a unicorn if you want. But just support the Garlic Boys. You can do it. Support them. Right there. Right there. I'm pointing off camera, but you should be able to see it right there.